ocean, come without warning. You know when you know what to do.
Alright, so this was the new album that was released by Vanessa Carlton. With this album, it was the deluxe edition. And I know earlier in the year she had released the EP, which was the Blue Pool EP, which was released digitally. I never got around to listening to any of the tracks. Since it was a digital album that came out, I'm not really a big fan of digital releases, but I didn't listen to any of the songs from that, so I'm not too sure if the songs were the same as the ones that were on this full length or if they were different or not. But at some point I plan on listening to it sometime. But I'm just going to run through most of the studio tracks that were on this album and just kind of briefly go through the live disc, which was the bonus for this deluxe edition. So with the first track, track number 1, it was entitled Take It Easy. I thought this had a great intro and also great build-up within the track. I thought it was a great way to open up the album. And also I thought it had great lyrics and also a great melody within the track. Track number 2 was entitled Willows. I thought this had a good piano melody within it. Track number 3 was entitled House of Seven Swords. I thought this had a great intro and I liked the vocals and lyrics that were done in this. I thought it really stood out and it had a lot of great harmonizing within the track as well. Track number 4 was entitled Operator. This was hands down my favorite track from this album. I love the lyrics that she did and also the way that she kind of stressed her lyrics and her vocals within the track. Track 5 was Blue Pool. This was another good track from the album. Track number 6 was entitled Nothing Where Something Used to Be. The beginning of this track, it kind of reminds me of one of those tracks that kind of lead up like a ballad, and that's kind of like the feel I got just from listening to the beginning of this track. Track number 7 was entitled Matter of Time. I kind of like the solo piece that was done within the middle of this track. Track number 8 was entitled Unlock the Lock. This was my least favorite track from this album. I kind of felt like this track didn't stand out nearly as much as any of the other tracks from this album. Track number 9 was entitled River. And this, I kind of liked the vocals and also the lyrics. I kind of felt like they really stood out within the intro of the track. And also I thought it had a good melody throughout, and also I liked the guitar work that was done within this track.
Sailors on the sea, are we heading clear for the edge of the ocean? There's no city that keeps you keen for a gypsy.
And then the last track, which was track number 10, that was entitled Ascension. And I kind of felt like the piano overpowered the vocals within this, and I thought it was a good placement actually for this track, seeing as it was the last track on this album. And then it goes into disc number 2, which is the Live from the Living Room session. I just wanted to briefly go through some of these tracks that was on here that kind of stood out to me. I won't go through all of them, but it was 8 tracks total. My favorite track out of all the live tracks was track number 2, which was River.
We got it by some vision. All your moves leading up to an ancient arc. We are free at the canyon cliff of my heart.
And I thought the piano really stood out to me. It was real good throughout the whole track, and also I love her vocals within this track as well. Take It Easy, which was track number 3, that was another good track from this live CD. Willows, which was track number 4, I thought the vocals really stood out, and also the harmonizing on this track. And then track number 5 was House of Seven Swords, and this was again another great track from this live CD. But all in all, you had 8 tracks total from this live CD, and then you had 10 tracks from the full-length studio album. And I thought that this whole album was a good album from her. You know, I've always liked the work that she's done as an artist, and I think she's a great artist. I don't really listen to her as much as some other artists in different genres, but you know, she's always stood out to me, and I've always liked her piano work that's been done, and her vocals just really stood out. But you know, with this full length, I am glad that she released a physical CD for it. As seeing the EP was in digital format, I figured that the full length was going to be digital as well. But you know, I'm glad she ended up releasing this double disc, and I thought it was a great album from her. So, you know, if you haven't got this album, definitely go out and support it, get it, and I guarantee you will enjoy this album. If you listen to it, feel free to share your favorite track. If you had a least favorite, feel free to share that as well. But until next time, this has been Jacob Rob AJ, and I'll see ya.